What you must never do if you want to protect your career, reputation, and mental peace at work. All depends on the first days of your new job. If you have just joined a new office, or you have got a new position, or you are about to start a new job, then this video is for you. Especially if you are intelligent, kind, hardworking, sincere, emotionally honest. This video is for people who come to work with good intentions. Many people think narcissists exist only in families or romantic relationships. That is not true. Some of the most dangerous narcissists exist in professional environments, hospitals, universities, corporate offices, research labs, government institutions, schools, IT companies, any workplace where power, competition, and image matter. At work, you expect professionalism, fairness, maturity, teamwork. Narcissists exploit this assumption. This video is about what you must stop doing immediately, how narcissists use normal conversation as weapons, and how to protect your career and peace. Before we talk about what you should do and not do on the first days of your job, you must understand how a narcissist operates internally. A narcissist at work is always doing three things at the same time: evaluating power, comparing themselves to others, and collecting leverage. They are not there to collaborate or to grow together. They are there to position themselves. To a narcissist, people are not colleagues. People are tools, threats, or assets. Let us imagine a very common situation. It is your first day at a new job. So usually what happens on day one? You are nervous, hopeful, excited, eager to make friends. You want to be approachable, friendly, cooperative, liked. So you do what most people do. You talk. And colleagues ask, where are you from? What did you study? Which university? What course did you do? How did you get this job? These questions seem harmless, and with normal, healthy people, they are, but not with a narcissist. With a narcissist, it is a disaster. Narcissists are extremely curious about your age, your education, your grades, your certifications, your strengths, your weaknesses. At first, it feels like normal conversation, but they are not just listening, they are collecting data. They are building a file in their mind. On the first day, people usually fall into one of the two patterns: boasting and over-humbling. There is this confusion in the mind. Should I talk about how good I am, or should I just talk about my vulnerabilities or weaknesses so that people or colleagues around me might help me? So let's see pattern one, that is boasting. Some people talk a lot about their achievements, their degrees, their certifications, their experience. They do this because competition is everywhere. They want to make a good impression. They want to be taken seriously. But sometimes colleagues react by thinking, this person is arrogant. This person is boastful. With normal people, this reaction may stay mild. With a narcissist, it becomes dangerous. A narcissist hears your achievements and thinks, you are a threat. You outshine me. You must be taken down. From that moment, they stop seeing you as a colleague. They start seeing you as an enemy. This does not end in simple dislike. It often ends in sabotage, silent competition, and reputation attacks. Boasting can quietly turn your first day into the beginning of a professional war. Let's see pattern two, that is over-humbling yourself. Some people think if I talk about my strengths, people will think I'm proud. So they try to balance it out. They say things like, I struggled a lot, but somehow I made it. Or I was lucky to get this job. My grades weren't great, but I worked very hard. I'm not very good at this skill, but I'm learning. They add vulnerability so they don't look arrogant. With healthy people, this creates connection and it builds trust. But with narcissists, this does not end in understanding. It does not end in empathy, but it ends in disaster. A narcissist does not hear your effort. They hear weak, not capable, inferior. They store your words, Later, your past is used against you, your growth is ignored, your confidence is questioned. You are no longer seen as someone who is improving or someone who is capable. Let us slow this down. For example, you say, I barely passed, but I worked very hard to reach here. The narcissist hears, barely passed. That's it. They delete effort, struggle, growth, and context. You are seen as the one who struggled, the risky hire, the weak link. Over humbling yourself can turn honesty into a permanent label that follows you for years. Here is the hard truth. On the first day at work, if narcissists are around, boasting creates enemies and over humbling creates targets. Both paths can lead to isolation, sabotage, damaged reputation. The narcissist does not reward honesty or respect humility. They exploit both. Let's say you are a software engineer. You joined a new company and you meet a colleague. He seemed warm, friendly, and empathetic. So during conversations, you said, my grades weren't great. That subject was too hard for me. Or I worked very hard to get here. I'm still improving my skills. I was lucky to get this job. And this person listens carefully and encourages you to talk more. 3 months later or 2 months later, during a review meeting, he would tell the manager, Rita herself said she struggled academically. I wonder if she can handle complex tasks. Your performance had been good, but now you are seen with doubt. Or, or if you say, I'm not very good at Java or Python or some language, blank, 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 fill in the blank, but I'm improving. The narcissist hears, not good. They do not hear learning, improvement, motivation. To a narcissist, effort does not matter, growth does not matter, improvement does not matter. Only one thing matters, ammunition. They store words, phrases, weaknesses for later use. Why do they do this? It is simple psychology of a narcissist. They believe people don't change and they freeze people in their past. So one sentence you said once becomes your permanent label, your permanent identity. This helps them feel superior. Next thing you should not do is do not share what your boss talks to you. On the first day or even early days of your job, your boss might call you into his office and talk about personal matters to make you feel comfortable or share opinions about other colleagues, who is helpful, who is not, or who is struggling. Give you advice on how to navigate the team. You might feel like sharing this information with others to seem smart or in the know, but don't do it. Why? Because it's dangerous. Narcissists are always watching for information they can use. If you share what your boss said, they learn who you are likely to trust or learn from. They can sabotage your relationships with helpful colleagues. Even small things like the boss said, Mike isn't very reliable. The boss really trusts Sarah can be twisted by a narcissist later. Do not share your personal matters. Now, this is another dangerous mistake many freshers make. Talking about family stress, marital problems, personal struggles like drug addictions, alcohol addictions, health problems. Remember, your personal problems might become character flaws later. Example, someone says, I had a fight with my wife. I am stressed at home. I am going through a divorce. At work, stress is seen as a weakness. People assume stress or emotion means you can't do your job. Emotions are seen as instability. Narcissists know this and they later say, he's not focused. She's emotionally unstable. He's unreliable. They use your honesty against you. Now, a temporary life situation or issue becomes a professional character flaw. Remember, sharing personal struggles is not honesty at work, it's a risk. Next point, do not share academic grades. Grades are extremely dangerous information. You should never share academic grades too early. Why? Because grades sound objective, they feel factual. Even if you got a B, B plus, 80% or 90%, it's all about perspective. For you, these grades might feel great. For others, the same grades might look average or weak. Grades are subjective. What looks good to you might not look the same to someone else. They remember it. Later, they can use it against you. If you ever say, I only got average grades, I wasn't a topper, I struggled academically, that sentence will follow you forever. Even if you outperform everyone, you deliver excellent work, you grow rapidly, the narcissist will always bring you back to you yourself said. Next point, do not overshare strengths. Some people share every certification, every course, every achievement. This can also be dangerous. Why? Because narcissists cannot tolerate comparison. If a narcissist feels threatened, less capable, overshadowed, instead of improving themselves, they will destroy you. They question your competence, plant doubt in the management, exaggerate small mistakes. They might say, he talks a lot about his courses and certifications, but once I asked him something and he couldn't answer. The next thing you should not do is talk about stocks. At work, people often bond over casual topics. Among men, this usually starts with games and then moves to stocks and investments. Talking about games is usually safe. Why? Because you are not directly involved. You are talking as an observer, not as someone whose actions affect your job. But talking about stocks is risky. You may think you are just being friendly, you are helping colleagues, or you are sharing useful information. But if a narcissist is listening, this information will be stored. Later, if you miss a deadline or make a small mistake or look tired or distracted, they may say he's always checking his brokerage account. He focuses more on stocks than work. His priorities are not clear. Even if it is not true, the story sounds believable. This is how normal, friendly conversation becomes ammunition. Next point, never teach everything you know. Another major mistake on the first days of job, teaching all your strategies, all your shortcuts, all your systems to the wrong person. Narcissist will absorb it, use it, present it as theirs, and when recognition comes, you disappear. Next point, know that gossip is a very dangerous trap. Never participate in gossip at work, not by speaking or reacting or even by listening silently. Most people think gossip is harmless. They think, I didn't say anything. They think I was just listening. That assumption is dangerous because narcissists use gossip as a tool. They use it to trap you, control you, isolate you from other colleagues, and later destroy your credibility. A narcissist often starts gossip very casually. They might say, did you hear what happened with her? I shouldn't say this, but just between us. They speak softly, they smile, they make it feel confidential. If you stay and listen, something important happens. You are now inside their narrative. Later, when things go wrong, they will say, we discussed it, she was there, he agreed, she didn't object, even if you said nothing, even if you felt uncomfortable there. Your silence will be rewritten as agreement. You can be used as an alibi, a witness, a scapegoat. If the gossip turns into a complaint, an HR issue, or a conflict, they will step back and say, you were there too. And suddenly you are no longer clean. There is another layer to gossip. Once you participate in gossip, even passively, you become unsafe to others. People might think you will talk about them next. So without realizing it, you become isolated. And isolation is where narcissists gain control. The moment gossip starts, excuse yourself, change the subject, physically leave. You don't need to explain, confront, or need to be dramatic. Just leave. Next point. Do not participate in illegal or unethical conversations. This is even more dangerous. If someone at work talks about bending rules, cutting corners, falsifying data, hiding mistakes, unethical practices, leave immediately. Do not laugh, do not comment, or do not listen quietly. Many people think, I didn't agree, I didn't participate, I just stayed silent. That is a mistake. To a narcissist, silence is useful. Later, if things are questioned, they will say, we all discussed it. Everyone was aware. No one objected. and suddenly you are included. Not because you acted wrongly, but because you were present. Narcissists never carry risks alone. If you hear illegal or unethical talk, remove yourself immediately. Do not explain, do not argue. Your job is not to educate them, your job is to protect your integrity. You are not weak for leaving, you are wise. After all, these are your first days at work. The final message is, remember, the first day at work is not about proving yourself, revealing your story, showing vulnerability. It is about observing, staying neutral, maintaining boundaries, protecting your professional identity. Your struggles, family issues, weaknesses are not for everyone. Not everyone who listens cares. Remember, some people listen to collect weapons. If this video helped you, click that like button and share and subscribe to my channel. I will see you all in my next video. Until then, take care and bye.